take 60 to 70 or even 25% of our time. Okay, so we'll quickly go. I'm going to share my screen. I have not used my laptop since yesterday, and I think because of which it is not even starting properly. Give me some time. No, I can't even see. So, yes. Okay. Let me share my screen. Can you all see my screen?
No, sir, not yet.
Okay. Let me know when you can see.
Yes, sir, we can see.
Okay, but see, still the PDF is not loaded. So, okay. So this what we'll do is, okay, let me, it's taking time to load. I wanted to show you one more Excel file before I do that. Okay, now I got it. Okay, so this is the the content that we will be talking about. Okay, we'll start with we'll not get into theory. Okay, this you can read. This is about Oracle. Okay, and then what we'll use is, so there's already what Oracle has done is Oracle has created a public schema. Okay, schema is nothing but the part of database. Okay, so it's a database which is created by Oracle and made public so that we all can connect and practice. Okay, so we don't have to install um, any software. But here, since it is already created, okay, so of course, we may not be able to practice create table and all those things, but everything on the crude aspect, right? Create data, read, update, delete, we can do it. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is about Oracle version 12, which is already in market. We're going to skip this, and straight away we'll move to RDBMS. So this is what we discussed about RDBMS, right? So RDBMS stands for Relational Database Management System. Okay, it's a basis for SQL and for all modern database systems like SQL Server by Microsoft, IBM, DB2, Oracle, MySQL, Access. Okay, and EF code. Okay, EF code actually gave about rules that a RDBMS system should follow. Okay, so a system is said to be RDBMS system. A database system is said to be RDBMS system. We follow CORDS rule. So here are the basic versions of CORDS rule. First, it says that data has to be in a tabular format. Okay, and we discuss about column header. So in this case, like first name, last name, address, phone number, book title, due date. These are your columns, right? And each columns will have same type of data. Address will have address type of data. Okay, and each row will have person specific data. So each cell, okay, cell is where your column and row meet. Each cell will have only one particular information. It cannot have two information. I cannot store phone number, two phone numbers for that matter. I cannot say this comma something else, right? So if you want to store two phone numbers, we'll say phone one, phone two, have a separate column. Okay. Okay. So then it's called normalized form. Normalized form is what we discussed about. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So this is the syllabus. Okay. Let me show you this. This Excel has come up. So here what you see, okay. I think I have not written. So SQL Server, not SQL, Oracle. Sorry, Oracle has certification. Okay. And I am not, I don't have the link. Maybe I will do it tomorrow. Okay. So SQL Server, not SQL. SQL Server also has it for that matter. Okay. It's called MCTS, Microsoft Certified Technology Specialist. Okay. MCTS SQL Server. So you can actually appear for MCTS SQL Server or Oracle database certification. Okay. So Oracle database certification, there are two certification. One is on SQL programming. Another one is on PL SQL. PL SQL, okay, it's written PL/SQL. PL stands for programming language. Okay. Programming language SQL means here you'll have to write more than one command. Okay. So that is not part of our discussion. We're not going to talk about PL SQL. And as you know, most of you are on planning to become a data scientist, right? So we don't need PL SQL. Okay, this is hardcore database programming language. So it is like writing for loop, if else conditions, just like the way we have done in Python. Okay, similar way we have to do in PL SQL. So so Oracle has a certification for this and also for this. Okay, so if you once we complete our syllabus, okay, you can actually appear for Oracle certification or even SQL Server certification. If you're going for SQL Server, you'll have to read little bit about SQL Server. That's it. Okay, 90% content will be same that we are going to discuss about this. So even IBM has DB2 certification, so you can appear for IBM DB2 certification, SQL Server certification. That's called MCTS SQL Server or Oracle certification. Okay, so this is the syllabus, right? I've taken it from the Oracle website itself. Okay, and okay, so coming back to our discussion, so we discussed that when you have one to many relationship, right? Like for example, one person here, okay, Bob Smith can have multiple books, can take multiple books, right? So in this case, we create two tables. One called checkout table in our library example, talking about transactional database, or the user table. Okay, so we'll see when we start creating. Okay, we'll create tables and we'll learn. So here you have the person table. So for example, let's say there's a situation, okay, where you want to create database for a library application. In library application, you will have one table where you talk about the members, right? The member ID, first name, last name, address, phone number, etc. So here, if you see the relationship between you have address and person is 1:1. One person will stay at one address, and one address will belong to one person, right? Same way for phone number. So it makes sense to put all this information in one single table. Okay. Let's look at the checkout table. So now let's say you want to record transaction of books between member and the library, right? So as a member, you can take multiple books. So when you take multiple books, okay, you cannot write it in the same table. Okay, I told you the one cell will have only one kind of information. So what it says, normalization says is when you have one to many relationship, put them in two different tables. So this is your primary table, patrons table, and checkout table is related, and that's how the word relational database comes into picture. Related. Checkout table is related to patrons table here. So here patron ID become foreign key. Okay. So here now I know patron ID 1. So if I want to know which all books Bob Smith has taken, I can clearly see Bob Smith patron ID is 1. So here you see Don Quick, what do you call? Quicksort. Then you have Things Fall Apart, Anna Karenina, and The Old Man and the Sea. These are the books taken by patron ID. So these are the 4, right? So this foreign key is actually, okay, is a primary key in the patron's table. So the primary key of the patron's table has become the foreign key in the checkout table, right? And this is how we link 2 tables. Okay. So for our first objective is to learn the 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 select query. Okay. So we'll first focus on select. Then when we get into create, we will come back and revisit this. But this you have to know. Okay. So tables are linked in when you have one-to-many relationship. They are linked as um, in 2 tables, where the second table will have ID, okay, or a column which will connect it to the first table or the parent table here. Okay. So what is a primary key? The primary key is a field whose values are unique in the given table. Okay. And it is used as IDs, identifier. Okay. So you can even have multi keys, multi-field, multi-columns, and they're called as composite primary keys. So for example, here in this example itself, if you look at the patrons table, patron ID is unique, right? Each member will have a member ID. So in this case, you don't have to use multiple columns. But let's say we didn't have member ID. For some reason, you don't have member ID. Okay. It is always good to put a member ID, but let's say for some reason you don't have it. Then you can use first name, last name as a primary key. The problem is that you can have same person with the same name, right? And what do? You can probably add first name, last name, and address together. So you'll say first name, last name, address together. These 3 columns together form our primary key. So in that case, of course, you can have more than 1 column together. It becomes a composite key. But we prefer to have least number of columns. So in this case, it's easy for us to know. Patron ID is the primary key. But even if you didn't had, you could have used more than 1 column together called as primary keys. In that case, we call them as composite primary key. Composite keys means more than 1 column. Okay. 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 And yes. So now, so that was the first situation we discussed, where 1-to-1, you put them together as 1 table. 1-to-many, you put them in 2 different tables. And here you see, you have a members table, patrons table, where you have member ID, first name, last name, address. Then you have books table, right? You need to record the books also, right? So book is also in a table called object ID. You have, these names, title, author, and year published. But to record the transaction, right, or checkout, here they call it, to record this transaction checkout, okay, we need to link book. We need to get book data from book table and employee data, member data from member table. The relationship here is many to many. Okay. So when you have many to many relationship, we break it into 3 tables. Okay. First table is normal, the first table with just members detail. Then you have book table with book detail. And then you have checkout table, which is a combination of patrons and the books here, right? So the checkout table will have 2 foreign keys. Patron object ID belonging to patron table's primary key, and book object ID belonging to book's primary key. And it will have its own ID, right? So these are the 3 ways of declaring tables, okay? This is another example of service and employee, okay? Okay, so we were talking about constraints, right? So when you create a column, when you create a table, we have to put a constraint as well. Okay, so what are different types of constraint? We have seen primary key constraint. Primary key constraint means it is to uniquely identify each row. Okay, so it cannot be null, it has to be unique. Foreign key is to link, right? Is to link to table that we have seen. not null constraint. Okay, let's say name. Name, you can put a not null constraint. That means the database will not accept a table with a value where name is blank or name is not given. Okay, it's not going to accept. Default is when you give a blank value, then this default value will be added. So let's say 90% of your employees stay in Bangalore. Let's say you have an office and where 90% of your employees work out of Hyderabad. 10% is spread across the world for sales and other things. So in that case, what you can do is, if the employee location is Hyderabad, you don't have to enter it. You can at the database level, you can say default Hyderabad. And when it sees that, oh, the location is blank, it will automatically add Hyderabad in the location. So that's called default constraint. So here your data will not be null, okay? But if you leave it null, if you don't enter, by default, it will add the default value. Unique is unique and can be null. Okay, so either you don't enter the value, or if you enter, it has to be unique. For example, email ID or phone number. Okay, phone number even cannot be unique. Sorry, cannot be repeated, right? It has to be unique. But not everybody can have. Not everybody will have email ID or phone number, right? If I don't have phone number, I can leave it blank. So either you leave it blank or it has to be unique, right? And index, again, we'll do it when we get down to writing, okay? So Oracle provides what is called as Oracle SQL Developer, okay? And we have seen in MySQL, some of you have seen Workbench. So this is a UI tool, okay, which helps to us to program the database, okay? So anyway, we are not focusing on SQL servers. It doesn't really matter. Okay, if you want to practice on Oracle, Oracle provides the system called as Oracle SQL Plus. Okay, so you can actually install if you want to. Okay, but I don't recommend it. We can do it without even installing. Okay. Okay, so now let's say let's actually see what we'll be working on. So here, what you see on the screen are called schema. Okay, schema is database. Okay, let me open and talk about it. So you'll hear the word schema. So okay, so if you take a database, the whole information will be stored in a database, right? Whole thing is database. But for some logical purpose and for some security purpose, they might divide a database into multiple parts. Okay, so this whole thing is one database. Okay, you can call it as employee database, library database, whatever. But inside this, what they will do is logically, they will group as, let's say, book database, book schema. Okay, employee schema. Generally, we don't write book and employee, we write by department. Okay, generally, you'll see by department. Finance department, finance schema. HR schema. Okay, operations schema. Sales schema. Okay, services. Okay, customer support schema, right? So all the tables related to finance will be made part of this schema. Single database, okay? HR related will be here. Now, this doesn't mean that finance cannot access. Finance can access, but you need to know the schema password. Every schema will have a password. Okay, HR will have a password, finance will have a password, operations will be a password. So you can connect from one schema to another. You cannot connect one database to another database. If you have a database, two databases, you cannot connect. Okay, you have to export into the Oracle format or CSV format, JSON format, XML format, whatever, some format, and then what is it's called as export. So you need to export the data and import it back, even though they can be same Oracle database itself. Oracle database, you have MDF format. Okay, so .mdf files are understood by Oracle itself. Okay, But the concept is that you cannot connect two databases. This different database cannot be, you have to export and import. They cannot be live. But here, live you can connect, but you need to know the schema password, okay? Or you need to have access to that schema. The user should have access to that schema. Otherwise, you will not be able to connect, okay? This is just for security purpose and also for, okay, managing, you know that, okay, these 10 tables belongs to finance, right? See, if you have take a database, you might end up getting 200, 300 tables, and then managing can become difficult. If I have, I know that I'm working on finance, so I don't have to worry about 200 tables. I mean, you know, 20 or 30 or 50 tables is good enough for me to look into. So that is one. And second is, of course, security, right? Finance guys may not have access to all HR data. HR guys may not have access to all finance data, right? But let's say, some HR, right? Like say your chief HR, okay, or your CFO, they might have access, right? So, you can give that access to the particular user, okay? But the schema is logical partitioning. Okay, physically it is all same. Logically, you're giving a different name. So what we have here is HR schema and OE schema. Okay, OE for order details. Okay, now the diagram that you see is called an ER diagram, entity relationship diagram. Entities, each of these boxes are called entities. Entities are like objects in programming world. Okay, what you call in Python or C++, Java, what you call as objects is generally called as entities in Oracle. And these entities will get converted into tables. So when you see HR schema has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tables. Job history, jobs, departments, employees, locations, countries, regions. These are the tables which are part of HR schema. Similarly, we have 7 tables, right? They are 2 plus 3 plus 2. 7 tables are part of your OE schema. So you have HR schema, you have OE schema, and these specific tables, these entities are part of OE schema. Okay, but if you have privilege, you have permission, you will be able to call. So now you see here, employees and orders, and your employees and customers, they're connected. These lines, okay, are called relationships. ER, right? Entity is these boxes that which actually will get. So these ER diagram is created before you actually create table. ER diagram is like the design. Okay, so when you look at a software development phases, right? What are the stages? Can anybody tell? What are different stages of software design? Sorry, software development phase. What we call as SDLC, right? Software development life cycle. What are different phases of SDLC? Hmm?
Sir, no idea.
Others? Some of you have done your codes, right? Tell me, what is SDLC phases? So you have planning, analysis, design. Somebody says design and development together, but design is separate, development is separate, testing, implementation, and maintenance, right? Let me open a image. SDLC. Okay. Should you able to see my screen? No, it's still the system. So these are your, okay, testing and integration. Okay, so planning. So when you design, when you start developing a software system, the first stage is called planning. Okay, planning means what is the system that I'm going to develop, what are the features that needs to be added. Okay, and we have something called as business analysis. Business analysis is kind of deals with this planning. Okay, so this is like theoretical way of designing the entire system. Okay, so when you talk about library management system itself, okay, library management system, lib. Okay, so okay, we'll talk about, okay, we need to talk about members, books. Okay, how can like some libraries might have 3-4 types of membership, right? So you have to design all these things, has to be done on paper before you start coding. Before you start coding, you have to do all these things on paper. Okay, so there are 3 types of members: so gold, silver, platinum. So what does platinum member means? They can take 10 books. Okay, and silver member can take only 3 books at a time. Okay, platinum member can keep a book for 1 month. Silver member can has to return for, so you'll have to say for everything. Silver member will take it only for 1 week, for 10 days, or maybe 15 days for gold and 30 days for platinum, right? So all these things, okay, all the information about your system has to be done on paper before you start coding. So the ER diagram which I showed is part of planning. Okay, so here you're planning, okay, the backend database development. So before you start coding, before you start writing create table, okay, you have to create this ER diagram on paper. Okay, okay, so okay, so implementation is where you start actually coding. Testing is to make sure that whatever you have tested, whatever you have coded is working fine. And finally, maintenance is, okay, so deployment is one phase, and this should be 7. 6th is deployment. You are going and installing or deploying at the customer side. Okay, and finally, maintenance is after customer will call you, right? I'm not able to work on this. There is some problem with this, right? So then you have customer support who is going to maintain the software. So it's called maintenance. Okay, so first planning, then analysis. Analysis again, you're going and talking to multiple people. Is this whatever we have done on the plan, is it correct? Okay, so what generally when you see any mistake, see, when you write a wrong code, you can go and fix it, right? Probably it will take you a day to fix it. But if your planning itself is wrong, okay, you have to redo everything. So all your design implementation can go wrong if your planning is not right. So planning, analysis, and design is sometimes writing some code as well. Okay, design is on border of implementation. Okay, so you are not implementing. Okay, you are not doing the full code, but you are making sure that whatever theoretically has been discussed is possible by code. Okay, maybe some things may not be possible, right? So all those things are done in the design. Okay, which tools should we use? Okay, which database should we use? Okay, planning analysis, we don't talk about tools and databases. Okay, okay, we talk about the capabilities. In design, you're talking about, so that's the border where you're moving, transitioning from business. Okay, planning and analysis is business side of your system, and implementation is your, so design is something in between. Okay, you're trying to see that, okay, can we use, is this feature possible? Okay, sometimes you might even code and see, oh yes, this is feasible, you can do it. Sometimes we say, oh no, this feature we cannot do it. Okay, so all those things are evaluated and approved in design, and then design phase is approved. That's when you go to implementation, then you test it and finally maintain. Okay, so coming back to our discussion, this is done at your analysis design. Okay, but before you start coding, before implementation. Okay, implementation is where you start developing your tables. Okay, so this is done, and each of these members of entities will become a column in our table. So when we connect to our Oracle schema, you will see these tables there. Okay, now I told you, right, if you scroll down, this is the link. Okay, so everyone, I want you to open this site, live SQL, okay, .oracle.com. Can you please open, everyone? Live SQL.oracle.com. https://live SQL dot Oracle.com. Okay. Open this site, everyone. Okay. And then you can click on start coding now. It'll ask you to register. Okay, if you have not, you can register it. I'll give you some time to register it now. Then please register it. If you have not done, please register it. Okay, and then you will end up at this SQL worksheet. Okay, and this is where we will be doing all our programming on SQL worksheet. Shall I wait or continue?
Please wait.
Soumya, I saw your message. You want me to repeat something? I have not yet started, in fact.
Sir, no, sir, a little bit slow because we all are all
Yeah,
are
yeah, yeah.
from
So
first
everybody
batch,
is
sir.
from first batch only. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay, don't worry. You can stop me, ask me questions first. Second thing is, I have not yet started. I'm about to start. So, any questions so far from you?
No, 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 sir.
Okay. So, livesql.oracle.com, register it. You come to this page. Okay. And now we are going to start. We have not started yet.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So, when you are here, okay, let me try this. Select table name from user table. Okay, and you click on run. Okay. Okay, so there's nothing called user tables. Okay, so we don't have anything called user tables. Okay, so that's why we didn't get anything here. Okay, let me do this bit. Or I'll say we have the table name, right? You can save it. Okay, you can save it later. I don't want to save it, but you can save it. Now I know this table here exists. This will tell me. So I have employees, right? So what I'll do, I'll say select how do I get all the information? So I'll say select star. Select star will select all the values. Okay. So select star, this is the first command that you're typing. Select star from, okay. Now when you have multiple schemas, so we say schema name dot table name. So HR dot employees. Okay, this is the first query that we are running. So yes, now you see it. So see, SQL is case insensitive. SQL is case insensitive. Here doesn't matter whether you give small or capital. It doesn't really matter. So select star from HR dot employees. So you have select. Okay, select is used to perform the read operation. When you want to read the content from a database, when you say read from the database information is stored in table, isn't it? So to read, you have to perform on table, right? Information is saved in table only. So you say select star. Star means all rows and all columns. Okay, you want all rows and all columns from which table? Employee table. Employee is part of schema, so you always say HR dot employees. Okay, select star from HR dot employees. So it gave us all the columns. So see, your HR employee is employee ID. Definitely this is your primary key, right? You can see that first name, okay, last name, email, phone number, hire date, job ID, salary, commission, manager ID, department ID. Okay, one more thing you see here, interesting thing. Sometimes foreign key can be in the same table also. See here. Now, when you talk about manager, right? This table has the manager also. Now, when you talk about Stephen King will have a manager, and that manager is also an employee. Correct. Now, when you talk about library member taking a book was in different table, and members in different table. So third table has foreign key from both of these tables. But in this case, the manager is also an employee, right? So your manager ID is nothing but the employee ID. You see this? So when you see Stephen King does not have a manager. Okay, that means he's the boss, he's the CEO kind of thing. The ID you see, it's called president. That means president is the highest member. He does not have any boss. He's the boss, right? There's no boss above him. But you look at this Nina Kocher. Nina Kocher has a manager ID 100. And who's the employee number 100? Stephen King. That means Stephen King is manager of Nina. Same thing goes with Lex. Lex manager is Stephen. Okay. So here manager ID is a foreign key and it points to the same table, employee table. That's also possible. Any questions so far? Everybody knows what I've done here. Select star from HR employees, HR dot employees. Select means I want to read. Star means I want to read all the rows and all the columns. From is the keyword that you have to give. From separates. On left side, you will have the information that you want to fetch, and right side of from is from where. If I need information, you'll ask me what information and from where, right? These two questions you need. Okay, so if you have to pull something, you need to know what you need to pull and from where you need to pull. So on left of from, you will have what information. From right of from, you have from where. So from HR, that is schema name dot employees, which is table name. On the left, what information? All the information, all rows, all columns. So you say select star from HR employees. Any questions so far? Anyone? Is it clear? Session is getting recorded also, so you'll get the recording. Okay. So you don't have to write it down, but if you're practicing side by side, it is good. but you don't have to write it down on paper. You can always see the video and you can practice it. But if you are on live SQL, then it's better. Okay. Otherwise, you can watch the video, right? Because if you write, you'll forget and you might make mistakes. So it's better directly you watch the video and see, oh, there's a comma here, there's a space here, all those things. Everybody is able to do that. If you're not doing it now, before next class, which is Thursday, right? So you set up your account and make sure that it is working. Is it fine, guys? Shall I move ahead?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. I heard only one yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
2, 3,
Yes, sir.
4, 5. I think 2 more people has to answer. No, you don't want to answer? That's fine. Okay. So this is how you can. Okay. Now let's say I want specific information. I want only specific columns. I want only first name. So I will say first name. You see, it is case insensitive, right? So you can use in any case. Okay. I wrote F first, but generally maintain some standard. Okay. Every company will have the coding standard, and they'll tell you how to write these things. So follow that. Or even if you don't have, you follow your own standard. Okay. So select first name from HR employees. So this is going to give me only the first name column, right? So I got only first name. Now let's say I want first name, comma, job ID. Was it job ID or something else? Let's see what happens. Okay, so you got job ID. Okay, so Ellen is rep, Sundar is also rep, Mose is clerk, David is programmer, right? So you get this. I want to know only the programmers in the company. Okay, IT prog. Okay, so select, I want first name only. Okay, from HR employees, from where? Given a condition where I'm introducing condition now. From HR employees table, I want only the first names, so select first name, but I have a condition where the job ID is IT prog. So where job ID. Okay, now you see. Just like in Python, we have seen string versus numbers, right? Here, job ID clearly is a string. Okay, when it is a string, you have to put it in single quote. In SQL, only single quote is allowed, double quote is not allowed, triple quote is not allowed. Okay, so in SQL, only single quote is allowed. Okay, so I have to give job ID equal to now whatever value I want. Okay, what I'll do, I'll just save this SA rep, right? Okay, SA
Excuse me,
generally
sir.
says, yeah.
So can you please repeat it once more?
Which part?
Like the second part from where one.
Yeah. So I want only first name from this table, HR.employees, schema-name.table name. Okay. Condition is that job ID should be equal to IT prog. Okay. So job ID is IT prog. Okay. This is condition. So first you have to say what information you want. Then you have to say from where. And third one is what condition. So select had maximum 3 parts. Of course, a lot more things we will learn as we go along, but just 3 parts. What information? So select blah, blah, blah. Okay. Column name. Okay. From where? From employees. Okay. Where job ID equal to IT prog. Okay. Now IT prog is a text, so we have to give it single quotation. Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. I got invalid statement. Okay. Let me see the spelling again. Job ID, and what did I say? From where? Job ID. Okay. Equal to IT proc. Why this error? Okay. So okay, so when you have text, okay, there are couple of ways of doing it. Okay, one is directly using equal to, okay, and you have some second one where equal to, right? I mean, this is where you want to check exactly the content. Okay, so when I say job program ID equal to IT proc, right? And this is IT proc. Okay, yeah, I missed that semicolon. So this is one way where you say job ID equal to, where I want specific value. Now let's say I want everybody with IT role. Okay, so this is where condition, right? Where job ID equal to IT proc. Now I want everybody from IT department. So this generally, if you see, it looks like this is the department code IT, right? SA was for sales and proc. So if I'm looking for IT programmer, this is exactly I can give. But I want, okay, okay, I want anybody with IT underscore. So I will say, I will, instead of equal to, I will say like. Okay. If I say IT proc, it will give me all this information. But I can use this while character. While character is star here. Okay, it means I want all the employees where job ID is like IT underscore and anything. Star means any number of characters after underscore. You can put star, before also or after also. I put it after. That means the starting letter has to be IT underscore. Okay, when I run it, okay, no, my mistake here. Okay, IT is in, sorry, star is in Python. This is what happens when you start doing multiple things. Wait, it's not deleting. My mistake is, okay, percentage, okay, not star. Okay, so here in this case we will have only IT proc. Okay, but what I can do is I can look for all the person where name is starting with D. So I'll say where first name job ID from employees where first name like D percentage. So it will give me all the names, okay, where see, where the name starts with D. Okay, I need DA starting with DA. I'll say DA. It will give me all the names with DA and anything. Okay, percentage means anything afterwards. Is it clear? So who want to
Yes, sir.
summarize what we have done so far? What have we done so far? We have connected to LiveSQL.oracle.com. Yes. We have seen the ER diagram of HR schema, and we will be working. We will be working with HR schema only to learn about basic, and then once we master it, then we will create our own database and we'll do a mini project at the end. Okay, I'll give you some mini project. Maybe design a bus transportation or things like, or maybe we can do it for library management itself, which you can later use for your Python project as well. Okay, so we connected to HR schema and we started reading the content. Okay, we started with select. We did select star from table name. We did select from and giving condition. So we give first, we are working with text for now. Okay, we'll work for text today. Next time when we meet, we'll talk about numbers. So in text, we first did equal to, right? In equal to, we looked at the value, okay, the text value in quotation. Okay, then what we did, we then did like, right? And in like, we gave percentage. Percentage indicates any number of characters after what we gave. So I can give some before also. Let's say I want to print all the names which has A. So I'll say percentage A percentage. Percentage A percentage may, it'll give me all the names which has A. Right? Small a. Okay. How to be case insensitive, we will do it later. But now you see all the names which has small a. So I can give percentage before and after. So any number of characters before a and any number of characters after a. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now the third type. Okay. So the third type here is you say in. Okay. So in I'll say let me copy it from here itself. Sundar, comma, Harman. Okay, comma, David. Okay, and you run it. So see, Sundar, David, Herman. So when you have to give multiple conditions, you can use in. So first name in Sundar, Herman, David. So if you have one condition and you want exactly same value, you say equal to. But you don't want exactly same value, but similar value, okay, where you want to check for some, a text containing some specific characters, we use like. And when you have multiple values, you can give in. And this in is similar to Python as well. We'll see in Python also. Okay, so this is one. You can also put multiple conditions. Okay, so I can say first name equal to Sundar. Yeah, right? And first name equal to David. And first name equal to Herman. Okay, so you can even give and. What happened? Did I get anything wrong? Okay. Should we use and or? What is difference between and or? You tell me. What did I do? What happened when we did and? Yes, you have done and. All of you have done and. See, guys.
Sir, that means Sundar, David, and Herman are not in the same name.
No, it means that they are in the same name. See, I want first name Sundar and first name David and first name Herman. That first name should have all the three values. Right? Or and means what? All the condition has to be true to be true. True and true and true. All three condition has to be true. Is it possible to have all three conditions? First name to be all three values? No, right? You can't have three values for first name. And means the first name. It should be Sundar also here, should be David also here, should be Herman also here. Or means, you know, even one condition is true, it is entire thing is true, isn't it? True or true or true will give us true. So the first name can be Sundar, or can be David, or can be. Did you get it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Others?
Yes, sir.
3,
Yes, sir.
4,
Yes.
5. Okay, so it has to be or. That's the reason. So, but when you have first name or first name or first name, better to put it in. Better to put it as like in. So in you can say as Sundar, as David, or right? And you can have more conditions as well, right? I want name to be any of these and job ID. So I want both job ID also something to be specific. So I want job ID to be from sales. So I'll say and, okay? I'm purposely giving and. I want both the condition to be true. Job ID like, okay, SA underscore percentage. The job ID has to be from sales. Okay, any one of these three names from sales department. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We'll stop here today. All of you practice this. Okay. Tomorrow we'll do some more examples from this. Any question before we wrap up for the day?
No, sir.
Right. So please set up your live SQL. Practice these 3, 4. Okay. Can use different values. Okay. Use different columns. You can use different tables as well. Right. Now I'm going to share this PDF. Okay. You can actually see different departments, locations. These are different tables which are there in live SQL. You can use any of these. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. So if there are no questions, we'll end it here for today. Okay, and we'll see you next week. Meanwhile, please, get your live SQL set up and start working. Sounds good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Bye, everyone. Good night.
Bye. Thank you.